Let's be honest, traveling after 60 should feel exciting and comfortable, but long walks in airports, dry airplane air, and tiny seats can sometimes make the journey feel harder than it needs to be. Today, you'll learn 7 simple, senior smart travel habits that can make flying easier, calmer, and far more enjoyable no matter where you're going. Let's make your next flight your most comfortable one yet. If you enjoy calm advice, senior-friendly travel tips, and clearer, gentler ways to explore the world, consider subscribing. Tip number 1, the 2-day wheelchair rule. Even if you walk normally, airports today are much bigger than they used to be. Places like Heathrow and Dubai can require long walks that leave you tired before your trip has even started. That's why I always recommend the 2-day wheelchair rule. This simply means requesting wheelchair assistance at least 2 days before your flight. And this service isn't only about the chair. It gives you access to priority lines, smoother security checks, and calm, relaxed boarding. You move through the airport at your own pace without rushing or standing for long periods. As one senior traveler once said, "I felt completely fine at the start of my trip, but halfway through the terminal walk, I became exhausted. The airport staff immediately helped me into a wheelchair, and from that moment on, the journey became smooth and comfortable." The lesson is simple. You don't need to push through or prove anything. These services exist to make your travel easier, and requesting them early ensures the airport team is ready to support you. If you want a calmer, more comfortable start to your journey, the 2-day wheelchair rule is one of the smartest and simplest tips you can adopt. Tip number 2, the senior care seat. Choosing the right seat on a plane can completely transform your travel experience. For older adults, seat selection isn't about luxury. It's about comfort, mobility, and peace of mind. I recommend what I call the senior care seat. This simply means booking an aisle seat in the front half of the plane whenever possible. Here's why this works so well. An aisle seat gives you the freedom to stand, stretch, or move without needing to climb over anyone. It also removes that awkward feeling of asking people to get up if you need a moment to adjust or walk. Sitting in the front half of the aircraft has its own benefits too. You'll usually experience a smoother, quieter flight, and when you land, the walk to the exit is shorter, which is a big help when your body feels a little stiff after sitting. It's a small decision that leads to a much calmer and more comfortable flight, especially on longer trips. Tip number 3, the real container rule. When it comes to flying, one of the easiest ways to avoid stress is to keep your medications organized the way airports expect to see them. That's where the real container rule comes in. This simply means keeping all of your medications in your carry-on bag and keeping them in their original labeled containers from the pharmacy. Here's why this matters. Airport security is much faster when your medicines have clear, printed labels. They instantly recognize official packaging, which means you pass through smoothly without unnecessary delays or questions. If you use a pill organizer every day, that's perfectly fine. Just pack it empty and fill it once you arrive at your destination. This keeps everything consistent with what airport staff are trained to look for. Keeping pills in small, unmarked containers can mean the security staff won't be able to identify them. This will lead to extra screening, which can take up more time and unnecessary added stress. It's such a simple habit, but it brings real peace of mind on the day of your flight. Tip number 4, hydration versus humidity. Airplane cabins have extremely dry air, often drier than many deserts. And for older adults, that dryness can cause discomfort much quicker than expected. That's why tip number 4 is all about staying hydrated in a simple, practical way. The easiest habit is to bring an empty, reusable water bottle through security. After you pass the scanners, you can fill it at a water fountain or hydration station before boarding the plane. This small step means you'll have water available whenever you want it, instead of waiting for the drink service to come around. If the flight is long, the dryness of the air can cause lightheadedness. Keeping water close by helps prevent those uncomfortable moments. And sipping regularly can make you feel clearer, fresher, and more comfortable throughout your journey. It's one of the simplest ways to support your body while you travel, and it makes a noticeable difference when you land. Tip number 5, the circulation outfit. What you wear on a flight has a huge impact on how comfortable you feel, especially during long periods of sitting. That's why tip number 5 is something I call the circulation outfit. It's not a formal outfit, of course. It's simply a smart combination of clothing that helps you stay comfortable throughout your journey. Start with loose, breathable layers. Airplanes can shift from warm to cool very quickly, and layers allow you to adjust without any stress. Choose soft fabrics that don't cling and allow your body to move easily. Next, wear comfortable slip-on shoes. They make airport security smoother, and they're much easier to take off and put back on if you want to relax during the flight. And finally, many older travelers like to use gentle compression-style socks if they work well for them. These light support socks can help your legs feel more comfortable during long periods of sitting. The circulation outfit isn't about fashion. It's about choosing clothing that supports your comfort, your warmth, and your ease of movement from the moment you leave home until the moment you arrive. Tip number 6, the medical travel cooler tip. Some travelers carry items that need to stay cool during a flight. And if that applies to you, there's a helpful travel tip that many people don't realize exists. I call this the medical travel cooler tip. Many airlines allow passengers to bring a small medical cooler bag on board, separate from your normal carry-on allowance. This means you can keep temperature-sensitive items with you without using space in your main luggage. The best approach is to contact your airline a few days before your trip and simply ask about their medical item policy. Airlines are very familiar with these requests, and most are happy to explain exactly what is allowed. When essential items travel with you, organized and protected, you can relax and focus on enjoying the journey instead of worrying about your luggage. Tip number 7, the 2-hour connection rule. Air travel today can be unpredictable. Flights can arrive late, gates can change, and large airports sometimes require longer walks than expected. That's why tip number 7 is something I call the 2-hour connection rule. Whenever possible, try to book connecting flights with at least a 2-hour layover between them. At first, a shorter connection might seem appealing. After all, it looks like you'll reach your destination faster. But in reality, short layovers often create unnecessary stress. A longer connection gives you the freedom to move through the airport at your own pace. You'll have time to walk comfortably, visit the restroom, grab a light meal, or simply sit and relax before your next flight. When you allow extra time between flights, the entire journey becomes smoother and far less stressful. Bonus tip, the paper backup tip. Before you travel, it's always wise to keep a simple paper backup of your most important travel information. Even though our phones store almost everything today, technology doesn't always cooperate when we need it most. Phone batteries run out, airport Wi-Fi can be unreliable, and sometimes apps simply refuse to load. That's why it helps to carry a small printed copy of a few key details, such as your flight itinerary, hotel address, and important contact numbers. You don't need a large folder. Just one small sheet of paper placed in your travel wallet or passport holder is enough. Traveling after 60 can be one of life's greatest pleasures. With a little planning and a few smart habits, flying can become comfortable, calm, and even enjoyable.